Okay, here we go. Happy Friday, everyone. Um, I'm feeling like, at least for me personally, it's been a long couple of weeks. I'm not used to being like sick and compromised like this, so it's taken a fair bit of mindfulness and self-compassion, patience, and all that good stuff to just remind myself, like, it is what it is. I don't determine the rules of the game. My job is just to be as competent as possible at following whatever is presenting itself and making good decisions that way. So I thought today, let's remember that we are what we repeatedly do. And so when it comes to, I think, a desire for living the good life, whatever that means to each of us, it does require some deliberate, explicit repetition of the things that we want. The more we do those things, the better we become at them, as opposed to our default way of being, which has to do with being nervous, anxious, irritable, scared. Just you can just sort of lump all of these into the negativity bucket and just say, our ancestors survived because they were all of these things. So when we stare into this black abyss of the unknown, the future, the scary stuff, we're basically, our nervous system is left with two choices. We can either assume that there's danger and run, or whatever the equivalent of running is, get anxious and deal and so on. Or we can assume that there's no danger and we can just relax. And again, we are the uh, ancestors were the ones that assumed there was a lot of danger and they ran. That's why we're here, right? They survived. And so today the idea is to counteract that natural negativity bias with some really deliberate stimulation of the positivity networks in our brain. And so the image that I love for this is a willow tree steeping its branches into the river. So just imagine your nervous system, your brain, the whole organism taking a moment for the next few minutes and literally like steeping or dipping its branches into this river of love and positivity and goodness. I'm not minimizing any challenges that we're experiencing, but I'm just suggesting that we just take a few minutes to give this some airtime, because it over the long run, this is where the magic happens. So let's try that. Let's see if I can do this without coughing. So let's start by closing our eyes. Let's start with this imagery. This imagery of the willow tree, banks of the river, slow, cool, consistently moving river. It's life. It's just doing its thing. And then there's the willow tree that's grown, and some of the branches are in contact with the river. They're literally steeping in this river of life, and soaking up the wetness, nutrients, and feeding the whole tree. And growing stronger, resilient as the river ebbs and flows. Branches grow, they break off, replaced by new branches. But all along, there's this theme of steeping and being connected to this flow of the river. Imagining ourselves as having these branches that dip into the river, steep in its positivity, its life energy. And if that's hard for you right now for whatever reason, that's okay. It's part of the process. See if you can, whatever extent you can, visualize this big tree with branches soaking up whatever it is that the river has to offer. And the river is constantly moving. There's no stopping it. And that's the same with life, whatever experiences are coming our way. It's happening all the time. And of course, the tree is impacted by the flow of the river, how high the water is, how fast it's moving. So this is where resilience and flexibility come into play. But nonetheless, there's contact. Branches, the leaves, they're in contact with the river. And that's us, all of us being in contact with the flow of the river of life. Unexpected turbulences, droughts, whatever it might be. See if you can really stay connected with a sense of steeping and absorbing. And in that process, see if you can find the good or the positive in it. Sometimes the river of life creates situations that are challenging for us. And other times it creates situations that feel really sweet and simple, feel good. Just taking a few minutes to allow the experience of positive aspects of the flow and the connection with that river. The other word that I really like here is savoring. So imagine that thirsty, parched tree is savoring the cool, the wetness from the river in the same way that we might savor a piece of chocolate or something that tastes really good for us. We take that moment to really allow it to penetrate and experience it and it's not just about noticing that it's happening, but noticing and appreciating what's happening. No matter what is happening in your life, grand scheme of things, and noticing that right here, right now, there's an opportunity, even if it's just for a few seconds, to steep in a sense of goodness, appreciation, connection, kindness, sense of goodwill. Savor it. It can feel very fleeting, very quick, short lived. The truth of the matter is, it's always there, always the ability to slow down just enough to be quiet, just feel into it. Go ahead and take a deep breath in through the nose. Slow exhale through the mouth. Deep inhale through the nose, mouth, feeling into the flow that is life, time. Holds for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes, come on back. Yeah, hope you have a great weekend. Gentle reminder, whenever, if you find yourself feeling out of whack or discombobulated, just remember this image of the willow tree and the branches steeping in the water. And I hope that helps you sort of come back to the present moment. Take care, everyone.